Having some concerns about your new puppy or rescue dog? Well, don't panic. Remember, a new home takes some getting used to. The first few days may require some adjustments from you and your new dog. It's a shock for your new pet, especially a puppy, to be without his mother and littermates. So from the very beginning, you want to make him feel as wanted as possible. Though I know you probably want to share your room with your new family member, for house training reasons, it's best to confine him to a smaller area, preferably with a linoleum or tiled floor, or even a crate, which should be large enough for your dog to stand up, turn around, and lay stretched out in. I also recommend a couple of good chew toys, a padded surface for a bed, and some food and water. And even with all that, you should still be prepared for some crying the first few nights, especially if he is kept where he can't see you. Whatever you do, don't give in. Don't go in and comfort him, because you'll only reinforce the crying behavior, which may make it worse tomorrow night. I know it's tough, but it's for his own good. Also, try not to spoil him by constantly picking him up and carrying him around. When he starts to reach his adult size, you're going to be very sorry you got him into that habit. Remember, always try to encourage good behavior. So what about diet? It's recommended, at least for the first few days, to feed your dog the same type and amount of food he was being fed at the breeder or the shelter. Changing the diet abruptly can lead to intestinal problems like diarrhea. I like feeding puppies less than 12 weeks of age 3 times a day, and after that, you could drop down to a twice-a-day feedings. It's important to monitor a new pet as carefully as you can in the beginning. Watch for problems like depression, lethargy, coughing or sneezing, loss of appetite, vomiting, diarrhea, or anything else that just doesn't seem quite right. The stress of a new home can freak pets out a little, which can make them more susceptible to disease. If you notice any abnormal behavior or problems, make sure to call your veterinarian right away. As far as vaccinations are concerned, it's important to know when the last vaccines were administered and how old your new furry canine was at that time. Generally, puppies receive vaccines in a series, usually beginning at about 8 weeks of age and continuing at about 4-week intervals until they're around 16 weeks of age. Older dogs with no known vaccine history usually need a series of just 2 vaccines 3 to 4 weeks apart. If you're in doubt, make sure to check with your veterinarian. While younger pups are going through their vaccine series, we recommend keeping them away from public places where there are a lot of other dogs. You should note that puppies don't develop a strong immunity against contagious diseases until a couple of weeks after they receive their last vaccines. It's okay to take them outside in front of your own house, and I don't mind if you let them play with other dogs, as this is good for socialization, as long as you know who the other dogs belong to and that they are well vaccinated and well taken care of. We also highly recommend having your new dog stool checked for parasites as soon as possible. Some of these infections can be serious if left unchecked and untreated, and though most are not that serious, some can even pose a health threat to you and your family. If you recently adopted a new dog or a puppy, congratulations, you're in for a real treat. There's a lot to know, so make sure to ask your veterinarian a lot of questions. Good luck! For Pet Care TV, I'm Dr. Jeff Werber.